believe in yourself and believe that you're somebody.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Realize Your Power, where we give you tips, tools, and advice to give you back your power. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the word success. I know you've seen it on the hashtag. I know you've seen it on Twitter. I know you've seen it on Instagram, on Facebook, and every other social media outlet. And everybody think it's cool to say the word success, successful, etc. But have you ever thought to actually think about the word success? What does success mean? Not the definition according to the dictionary, but I mean to you. What does success mean? Well, I'm reading a book, and the book is called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbro. Great book. And you benefit from me reading this book because the knowledge that I read in this book, I share with you. And this book discusses the 5% theory. What is the 5% theory? Well, if you take 100 people and you put them in the room, they all have equal everything. I mean, equal opportunity, they have equal pay, etc., right? They're just overall, they're all the same person, right? Well, if you take them all in that room, only 5% of them will be successful. Well, why would only 5% of them be successful? Right? Success or a successful person is someone who simply says, I'm going to become this, and they work towards that goal. So that's what success means, according to the personal definition that we're going to create. So if you say I'm going to become this and you actually work towards that goal and you become it, then you are considered successful. Some of you who are actually listening to this podcast, you guys are successful by that definition. You said that you wanted to become a certain person, a certain career, and you actually are working in that career. You're actually becoming that person. So would you be in that 5%? The answer would be yes. But you have to be honest with yourself. Completely honest with yourself. I can recall watching someone grow up saying they wanted to be a teacher. Well, if they want to become a teacher, and they went to high school and they said they wanted to become a teacher, and they went to college and they said I want to be a teacher, they became a teacher, then they are considered successful. Now, according to some definitions, are they successful? Probably not, because they only make between $45,000 and $60,000 a year. That's if you're talking about quantity. Quantity is defined by a number. So no. Versus if they said they wanted to be a teacher. They went to high school, said they wanted to be a teacher. They went to college, said they wanted to be a teacher. They graduated with their degree. Then they went to law school and they became a lawyer. Not because they wanted to become a lawyer, but because they figured that they wanted to make money. Their passion isn't in it. Even if they're great at it, their passion isn't in it. They're not excited to go to work. They're not excited to go to court. Not excited for their clients. They're just doing it because, hey, it pays more. It gets the bills paid. Versus if I only made $45,000 to $60,000 a year, right? Why? Why would people do this? Why would people think like this? Why would people work in fields of work that they don't even want to be in? Oh, I have an answer for you. People conform. Conformity. People would do what others want them to do simply because it's uncomfortable to do what you want to do. It's uncomfortable to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. If everybody in my family is a doctor, and I'm talking about being a teacher, I'm going to conform because I'm not trying to be the outcast. Right? Here's the second reason people usually do not become successful. It's their perception of failure. People have so many different perceptions of failure. Some people look at failure like, I don't even want to experience it, because if I experience failure, then I'm just going to quit. Nope, can't do it. But then there are some people who experience failure and they actually grow from it. So it's this thing called post-traumatic growth disorder, right? It's when you go through so much in life that you have no choice but to grow from it because you've been through so much, right? So those are the people who take they seize every opportunity to learn from failure. They take every opportunity. They seize every opportunity to learn from failure. But get this. Successful people experience more failure than failures do. Get this. Successful people experience failure more than failures do. Well, how is that possible? Because successful people, they fail, they get back up and they keep running. People who usually fail at anything, they're done. Count them out. 3 strikes there, I'm gone. Matter of fact, I don't even need 3. Just hit me 1, I'm gone. Well, that's, of course you're going to be a failure because you quit on the first, second, third try. Right? You're constantly going to quit because that's what you are. And not just with one subject or one area of your life. It's like with everything. So it's easy for you to quit. So I'll share a story with you. Working with a person, and this particular person had told me that they wanted to become a doctor, but their parents wanted them to become a lawyer. And whenever this person would talk about science and math, they would get all happy and jittery and so excited. And I would just look at them as if they were like speaking a whole nother language. I was like, well, why? What? How could you be so in love with math, science, and all this other stuff? I don't get it. But when we started talking about things that I was interested in, political science and psychology and sociology, this person would just be like, yo, this is boring. I said, well, that's interesting that you think that that's boring because these are some of the fields that you actually have to study in order to be a lawyer. But when we talk about being a doctor, you get excited. Why are you being a lawyer instead of a doctor? And this person told me, well, because of my parents. There we go again. People are conformity. This person is conforming to what others want. My parents want me to be a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't even like law. I said, then why don't you do what you want to do? And then it brings me to my third reason why people conform and why they are not successful. It's culturally. It's culturally linked. In some cultures, you cannot stand up to your parents and say, you know, while I love you and I appreciate you, I'm not going to work in that particular field. I understand that you think that being a lawyer is easier than being a doctor, but I'm not going to do it. That's because they come from cultures where you don't disrespect elders, and questioning elders is sometimes viewed as being very disrespectful. So instead, they just say, I'm sure they know what they're doing. They didn't become this wise for no reason. They've experienced so much. I'm going to trust them. But this particular person actually went to their parents and said, you know, hey, this is not where my passion is. I just can't do this. There's no way. I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be the worst lawyer ever. Maybe not in the courtroom, but when I go home, I'm not going to like my life. Like, I'll go in the courtroom, I'll perform, I'll probably win the majority of my cases, etc. But when I go home, I'm not going to be happy. But being a doctor, I know that I'm going to be saving lives. I know I'm going to be working around people who I respect. I know I'm going to be working around people who I study. I know I'm going to be working in a field that I've studied and I worked so hard. Even if it takes me 1,000,000 years, I'm willing to do that because that's my definition of success. All right? So, here's what I want you to do. I want you to actually look at yourself in the mirror whenever you get a chance, when you go to the mirror. I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you living a successful life? The life that you said you wanted? If the answer is yes, continue to do it. Create more goals and continue to achieve those goals because then you will be part of that 5%. If for some reason you are not in that 5%, I need you to be honest with yourself. Why are you not in that 5%? Are you scared of failure? Are you conforming? Is it culturally affecting you? What's going on? Because I need you to take a new stance on what the word success means. Please failure can never be a reason why you have not become successful. Because I need you to take a new perception of what failure is. Failure to some people means that, oh God, I'm never going to make it. Let me just quit while I'm ahead, etc. Right? But while you're in that mirror, I need you to say this to yourself. Seize every opportunity to learn from my failures. Seize every opportunity to learn from my failure. Seize every opportunity to learn from my failure. So while you're in the mirror and you're saying to yourself, seize every opportunity to learn from my failures, I also need you to do something else for me. Okay, this is a tool. I'm going to give you a tool. I need you to study the field or career or whatever your definition of success is. I need you to study it. Like, I need you to dedicate at least 30 minutes a day to you studying that particular definition of success. So what is it? So for some, let's talk about careers, okay? If your career is to become a lawyer, I need you to study law. 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes is nothing. You know, if you study an hour, that's only 4% of your day. Only 4% of your day if you study for for an hour. So 30 minutes, it's even less than 4%. 4% of your day is absolutely nothing. But it can continue, if you continuously do it, it can make an impact on you. Okay? So I need you to study. What is success to you? The career choice that you want. How do you see your life? And what is your definition of success? And be honest with yourself. All right? Be honest with yourself. So that's all I have for you today. I'm always excited to be with you. I thank you so much for taking time with me. Please make sure you check out the website, SadeBurrell.com. Sign up for our newsletter. We give out some great information. You all are the first to see the motivational videos that we put out. You're the first to get the podcast. And please share with your friends. Feel free to forward the emails to your friend. Forward this podcast to your friend. I'm reading the books. I'm just giving you the knowledge, making your day a little bit easier. Listen to me driving, listen while you're working out, whatever it might be. We're just here to help. That's all. It's always a pleasure being able to speak with you. You enjoy your day. My name is Sade Burrell. Thank you so much.